Welcome back to another episode of Grit, Grace, and Growth, the podcast where we empower you with the knowledge and the tools to build wealth through real estate. I'm your host, Laura Navaquin, and today we will be diving into one of my favorite topics, and that is house hacking. If you've ever dreamed of living for free while building a real estate portfolio, this episode is for you. We're going to break down what house hacking is, the financial benefits, how to get started, and some of the challenges that you might face along the way. So, what is house hacking? Let's start with the basics. At its core, house hacking is a strategy where you buy a property and rent out parts of it that cover your mortgage. So, this can be done in various ways depending on the type of property that you own. So, for example, you can buy a single family home and rent out the extra bedrooms, or you can purchase a duplex, a triplex, or a fourplex, live in one unit and rent out the others. Now, why is this strategy so powerful? Well, think about it. Your tenants are essentially paying for your mortgage, which means you are living for free or at a significantly reduced cost. On top of that, you're building equity in the property and it appreciates over time. So, let's dive deeper into the different types of house hacking. If you're single or don't mind living with others, renting out rooms in your home is a great option. But if you prefer more privacy, buying a multi-family property and living in one unit while renting out the others could be the way to go. Each approach really has its pros and cons, and the best choice depends on your personal preferences and financial goals. For instance, renting out the other rooms can generate more income, but it also means that you're sharing your living space. On the other hand, living in a separate unit of a multifamily property gives you more privacy, but it comes with a higher upfront cost. So let's talk about a case study. Let's imagine that you bought a duplex for $300,000. You put down 3.5% on a down payment using an FHA loan, which comes out to about $10,500. Your mortgage, including tax insurance, is around $1,800 a month. You rent out the other units at $1,500 a month, leaving you with just $300 to cover. Not only are you living for almost free, but you're also building equity in the property every single month. Not too bad, right? Now that we've covered what house hacking is, let's talk about the financial benefits. The first and most obvious benefit is the cash flow. By renting out part of your property, you're generating income and can cover your mortgage and possibly even more. This frees up your income for other investments, savings, or simply enjoying life a little bit more. But cash flow isn't the only financial benefit. House hacking also helps you with building equity in the property over time. Each month, as you pay down your mortgage, you're increasing your ownership stake in that property. Plus, as the property value appreciates, your equity grows even more. This can provide a significant return on the investment when you're eventually ready to sell that property. Let's not forget about the tax advantages. So, as a homeowner, you get to deduct the mortgage interest and the property taxes from your taxable income. If you're renting out part of your property, you can also deduct the expenses related to that rental portion, such as repairs, maintenance, utilities. Yep. These deductions can also add up to reducing your overall tax burden and increasing your net income. Pretty good, right? Well, here's another example to illustrate the financial impact here. Imagine that you own a triplex and your mortgage is $2,500 a month, and you live in one of the units and rent out the other two for $1,200 a month. That's $2,400 a month in rental income, meaning that you only have to cover $100 out of pocket every single month. Over the course of the year, you saved $28,800 in housing costs, all while building your equity and enjoying tax benefits. So, how do you get started with house hacking? Ready to get started? The first step is to choose the right property. Of course, you'll want to look into a property that suits your needs and has a rental potential. So, location is key here. Choose a neighborhood with a strong rental demand, close to amenities like schools, public transportation, and shopping. When it comes to property type, think about what fits your lifestyle and investment goals. If you're comfortable sharing your space with a single family home, that might work. But if you value your privacy, like I said in the beginning, look to a multifamily property. That could be a better choice. Once you've found the right property, it's time to secure the financing. And one popular option for house hacking is an FHA loan, which allows you to put down as little as 3.5%. This makes it also easier to get started, especially if you're working with limited capital. There are also VA loans, which are another great option for eligible veterans, offering no money down and competitive interest rates. Now, let's talk about property management. So, managing a property where you live also comes with unique challenges to keep in mind. You'll need to balance being a landlord with maintaining good relationships with your tenants. And this can include setting clear boundaries, screening tenants carefully, and staying on top of maintenance. One tip is to treat your rental units like a business. Keep detailed records of income and expenses and be proactive about addressing any issues as they arrive. This will help you maintain a positive cash flow and avoid any potential conflicts with tenants. You definitely don't want to have angry tenants, especially when you have to live with them. While house hacking offers many benefits, it's important to also be aware of potential challenges. Like living with tenants can be tricky, especially if you're sharing common areas like a kitchen or a living room or a bathroom. So, privacy concerns are a common issue and essential to set boundaries and communicate expectations clearly from the beginning. There's also the responsibility of maintaining the property. So, as a live in landlord, you'll be the first point of contact for any issues that arise. And this can be time consuming and stressful, especially if you're not prepared for handling maintenance issues or repairs. Another consideration is the financial risk. If your rental units are vacant, you'll be responsible for covering the entire mortgage yourself. This is why it's crucial to have an emergency fund and to carefully screen for tenants to minimize the risk of vacancy. However, these challenges can be managed with proper planning and proactive approach. By setting clear expectations with your tenants and staying organized and being prepared for any unexpected expenses, you can mitigate some of these risks and enjoy the financial benefits of house hacking. It's really ultimately such a great method to get into real estate. Well, to wrap up with the power of house hacking and this strategy to grow wealth through real estate, it allows you to live for free or at a reduced cost and generate cash flow while building equity in your property. Also, while there are challenges to consider, the financial rewards can be substantial and outweigh the risk. So if you're interested in learning more about house hacking or getting started with your own investment journey, I encourage you to check out the resources on my website and join our community of like-minded investors in the Hive. Thank you all for tuning in to this episode of Grit, Grace, and Growth. And if you found this information helpful, please share it with others who might benefit. And as always, I'm open to your suggestions, so feel free to reach out with any ideas or questions. Grab your cup of coffee, keep tuning in every week for more insights on real estate investing and building wealth.